Welcome to the Concrete Briefing. I am your host, Carter Concrete. Today, we are conducting an exhaustive dissection of a high-octane cultural trajectory. We are looking at a man who successfully transitioned from the red clay of Atlanta to the digital stratosphere, eventually ascending to the pantheon of professional comedy. This is the documented metamorphosis of John Whitfield, the individual the world knows as DC Young Fly. This isn't merely a collection of jokes. This is a thriller regarding survival, a drama of spiritual redirection, and a masterclass in psychological adaptation. We will explore the facts, analyze the arguments, and uncover the deep-seated linguistic and cultural roots that define the man. To accurately analyze the argument behind DC Youngfly's success, one must first map his geography. He is a self-described alien, born and raised within the 30,331 zip code of Atlanta, Georgia. His educational path through the Atlanta public school system, specifically Mays High, and a subsequent transition to an alternative school served as the primary backdrop for his early life decisions. The cultural history of his household is a vital piece of the puzzle. Whitfield was the youngest of 6 children, born to a father who was 61 years old at the time of his birth. This unique structure meant he was already a great uncle by the age of 12, forcing him into a sophisticated, humorous negotiation of complex family hierarchies at a very young age. We argue that Whitfield's old soul comedic timing is no accident of nature. It is the direct result of being raised by a generation that preceded him by 60 years. This upbringing created a unique linguistic bridge, allowing him to fuse the old school wisdom of a pastor as home with the new school kinetic energy of the Atlanta streets. Every profound narrative features a pivotal turning point. For DC Young Fly, this arrived at age 21 a year, defined by legal challenges and a life-altering street confrontation. In a sequence of events mirroring a cinematic thriller, Whitfield was involved in a physical altercation where he was stabbed multiple times, resulting in a massive scar that still wraps around his torso. The stakes of this moment were lethal. One of his brothers died on the scene before being revived by emergency medical intervention, while another brother suffered a severe head wound. This leads us to the core of our briefing. Whitfield argues that this trauma served as a divine intervention of cognitive redirection. Because his injuries left his hands incapacitated for nearly 10 months, he was physically unable to participate in the hustle of the street economy. When the physical utility of his hands was removed, his brain was forced to compensate through mental agility. He notes that his memory sharpened exponentially during this recovery. He began memorizing 20 to 30 phone numbers and entire rap songs because he lacked the physical ability to write. This forced mental discipline became the foundational stone for his future in improv comedy. He did not simply survive a stabbing. He underwent neurological upgrade. Within the halls of Atlanta schools, Whitfield perfected a defense mechanism that would become his professional trademark, the roast. Growing up in an environment where hand-me-downs were common, he realized that humor was an effective social shield. He argues that by being the first to identify a flaw, whether it was his own flooded pants or a peer's missing hubcaps, he effectively seized control of the social narrative. This is governed by the green rule of the neighborhood. If you laugh green, you are accepted. This linguistic root is deeply steeped in African vernacular English, AAVE, and the storied cultural tradition known as the dozens. It is a verbal sport where the quickest wit survives and wins. This was not mere clowning. It was a psychological training ground for the high-pressure environment he would later face on Wild 'N Out. The transition from a viral Vine sensation to a respected professional comedian is a hurdle that claims many careers. Whitfield openly admits that his debut stand-up set was met with the silent treatment from the audience. We posit that Whitfield's longevity is due to his profound respect for the professionalism of the craft. He realized early that internet funny and stage funny are two entirely different psychological. He argues that comedy is an art form, a tool used to paint a picture, so that an audience respects your perception of trauma and pain. He did not rely solely on his viral status. He meticulously studied the greats, including Bernie Mac, Richard Pryor, and Robin Harris. He recognized that a true professional must perform even when they are not feeling it, successfully turning the focus away from their own ego and onto the audience's experience. Today, DC Young Fly is moving beyond being a participant in the culture. He is seeking to become an architect of it. His refusal to replace Nick Cannon during a period of corporate controversy citing deep-seated loyalty, and a refusal to take a position from the person who put him on, illustrates a moral framework that is often absent in the entertainment industry. Furthermore, his recent professional interactions with Chris Tucker suggest a potential industry game-changer. Tucker has reportedly indicated that if Whitfield portrays his son in a future Friday film, the legend himself will return to the franchise. Within the next 3 years, Whitfield intends to transition into his executive bag. He aims to emulate the success of figures like Will Packer for the next generation, using his accumulated resources to build a unit where new talent is both nurtured and protected. He's no longer just looking for the next laugh. He is looking to build a nation through communication and infrastructure. From the 30,331 zip code to headlining national arena tours, the story of DC Young Fly is a factual testament to the power of redirected energy. He took the trauma of the streets and the linguistic agility of Atlanta's culture and forged a career that is as resilient as it is hilarious. This has been the Concrete Briefing. I'm your host, Carter Concrete. Stay sharp and stay tuned.